Thank you for joining today's session. In this webinar, we're going to talk about I'm going to give you an introduction of who Nodus is, what we do, what services and solutions we offer, and I will show you a brief demonstration of some of our solutions. As a company, Nodus we specialize in e-commerce and electronic payment applications that integrate with Microsoft Dynamics GP and CRM. We have been in business for more than 14 years now, pretty much ever since Microsoft had GP, and we have more than 1,400 customers globally who are using our applications. One of the most important things that we focus on is the security aspect of the solution. As a company, we work very closely with the PCI Security Council to not only ensure that we are always up to date with the most recent compliance regulations, but also to ensure that our applications are always certified with the most recent and the most latest security regulations. Every application that I'm going to talk about, every application that we offer from our company, we make sure that it goes through a thorough PCI testing, and we make sure it gets the certification stamp on it before we roll it out to our customers. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an overview of some of our solutions and a brief demo. Obviously, in a short amount of time, I cannot go in-depth demonstration of the solution. Feel free to reach out to your representative at TM Group, and they will be more than happy to assist you in coordinating a call with us where we can talk into each one of these solutions individually. Now, the first application that I'm going to talk about is called Credit Card Advantage. Credit Card Advantage is one of our flagship products. The reason I said that is because when we started the company, we started off with Credit Card Advantage, and now all of our applications use Credit Card Advantage in the back end. Credit Card Advantage is a solution which allows you to process payments directly inside of Great Plains, inside of GP. You can process credit cards as well as electronic checks, or also known as ACH, inside of GP using Credit Card Advantage. You can process these payments in real time or in a batch mode. When we talk about Credit Card Advantage, we will also talk about different methods of security that we offer, such as encryption as well as tokenization. We have a cloud-based payment engine, which I'm going to talk about in just a bit, which allows you to process payments as well as store credit card data outside of your network, outside of GP, in a secure cloud. So Credit Card Advantage is what I'm going to start off with. I'm going to show you briefly how Credit Card Advantage functions. Now, the second solution that we offer is one of our most popular solutions. Is called ePay Advantage. ePay is our online bill pay solution. This is a solution which helps you streamline your receivables process, your AR collection and AR processing. It helps you streamline your AR process. Basically, what it does, it allows your customers to go online, view their invoices, and make payments against those invoices. So basically, all GP's AR, like all the invoices that are posted in GP, you can have them displayed on a portal for your customers. So this way, your customers can just go to they can view those invoices, download, print them, and make a payment. These payments get processed and get submitted to GP in real time as well. It is a very similar concept to how you pay your cell phone bills or how you pay your electricity bills. Likewise, you can offer your customers methods to make payments online on their own. The online bill pay systems has been very, very popular recently. I believe all of us can relate to this as well. There are many studies that have shown significant ROI of when companies adapt online bill pay system. Some of these bill pay systems, some benefits that includes is also giving your customers convenience. Now your customers don't have to wait till your business hours to call you to make a payment. They can process payments. They can send these payments anytime at their leisure according to their availability. There was a study done, and some of the key statistics that shows that it says that 35% of people are more likely to pay their bills on time if you offer them an online method of payment or a self method of payment. Secondly, there's another statistic that shows that 12.5% customers are less likely to leave you if they are already enrolled in some sort of an automated online billing. This is something that all of us can relate to. If we sign up for a service or any membership or any subscription, and if we enroll for an online automatic payment, even if we don't use that, sometimes we don't cancel it. So, and it's a real study. It's a study that shows that 12.5% of the customers are less likely to leave your business if they're enrolled in an online bill payment kind of situation. Another fun fact or statistic that was also brought up in this study is that 20% of these customers, or the customers who use or who are enrolled in online bill pay, they tend to purchase 20% more products from that company. I guess this has to do something with credibility or reliability with that company. Since you're already enrolled in some sort of an online fashion, you tend to buy more services from that company. So clearly there is a lot of benefits and a lot of ROI attached to it. And now the good news is that ePay Advantage is an online bill pay system that for you being a GP user, you can offer your customers the same convenience to pay their bills on time. So I am going to show you ePay Advantage as well. And then after that, we also offer a solution called our e-commerce solution. It's called eStore Solution Stack. This is a web store online shopping cart that is for B2B and a B2C environment. It's a web store that's fully integrated with GP. It allows, it basically is a bi-directional integration, so the data flows from the web store to GP and GP to web store in pretty much real time. You can bring your inventory out of GP over to the web store so your customers can go online, they can browse through your catalogs, and then they can make purchase. When they place an order, the payments get processed, and these orders get submitted back into GP in real time. So this is what we call a zero-touch or a no-touch order entry process. So from the time the customer goes on your website to view the items or inventory to place an order till the order is submitted into GP, it requires zero human interaction. It's fully integrated. It submits the order for you, and also it allocates inventory and everything too. So we will look into this as well. There's a lot of features of e-commerce solution. E-commerce, this is a huge solution. It has lots of features. Obviously, during a short time, I am not going to go through all of these features, but some of the big benefits that comes along with this. You can offer your customers, obviously, customer-specific pricing. So if you have some specific customers who have different price levels, customer-specific catalog, if you want to design like a specific customer catalogs, if you want to restrict some customers from purchasing certain items, you can do that. There is ability to upsell, cross-sell functionality. You can save shopping carts. You can do express checkout. And also, it meets all the responsive, the new or the latest responsive theme design. So, which basically means that you can design the web store however you want to, but it can automatically fit on a different screen size. So, let's say if your customers are placing an order using a cell phone versus a tablet versus a laptop or a desktop, depending on the screen size, the web store will automatically fit or fit in. So meets all those, it has all the bells and whistles of any mature shopping cart solution plus more, and the most important part is it's fully integrated with GP. Now, as a company, we do also offer a payment solution for CRM as well. We have launched just similar to Credit Card Advantage. As a reminder, refresher, Credit Card Advantage was the one that allows you to process payments inside of GP. We have a solution called CRM Charge, which allows you to process payments inside of CRM as well. If you are using Microsoft Dynamics CRM as well as GP, and if your CRM is integrated with GP, then these solutions can work in harmony, and it works very well. Some of use cases that I can give you example is if you are in an environment where you use CRM, you have customer service reps who are in CRM, and let's say if they want to take an order over the phone, and if you want to process a payment, you can have those orders and payments submitted into GP, transfer them into GP. So essentially, CRM Charge can be integrated with Credit Card Advantage inside of GP, so all your payments information is also synchronized between GP and CRM. So many benefits of CRM Charge as well. Now, as I mentioned, before I actually show you the demonstration of our solution, one of the first things that I mentioned during the introduction of the company is that as a company, we are very concerned about security. Security is our #1 priority. We work very closely with the PCI Security Council to make sure that we are updated, always updated, and also to make sure that our applications are always updated. So just as a PCI 101, for those of you folks who are not very familiar with the PCI process, PCI stands for Payment Card Industry. PCI Compliance. PCI Security Council is basically a governing body that ensures that cardholders' data is protected. So all of us are cardholders. Each one of us we use credit cards, so we are cardholders. And PCI is basically the governing body. Think of them as police officers. They're the ones who make sure that we are safe. And how do they do that? They do that by making sure that any merchant, any business that accepts credit cards as a method of payment, they do it securely and in a way in accordance to the PCI regulations. If companies follow if all merchants follow PCI regulations, then the credit card theft and the data breach will significantly drop. So it is very important to follow this, and one of the very important part is that PCI applies to everyone. If no matter how small you are, how big of an organization it is, as long as you accept credit card from your customers, whether you're a brick and mortar store or if you're a e-commerce store, as long as you take credit cards as a method of payment for your customers, you are responsible to protect those customers' credit card data. So PCI, once again, PCI Security Council is essentially what ensures that everyone is following the right practice. There is a very useful website that you can take a note of. You can go to www.pcisecuritystandards.org. This is a website where you can learn a lot about PCI, the latest news and trends, and also, most importantly, you can actually see a list of all payment applications that have been or that has been through the PCI validation process. Those applications are listed on this portal. And if you go there and if you type in Nodus Technologies under the company name, you will see that all of the applications that we offer are all certified by the PCI Council. So before I start, let me kind of talk about very quickly about security as well. Tokenization, since we are talking about security, tokenization is a process in which you store the customer's credit card data outside of your network. So you basically tokenize it outside of the network. So essentially what happens is that you don't store any customer's credit card data in your environment at any point. This will help you not only secure your infrastructure, it helps you reduce your IT infrastructure costs, because now you don't have to worry about as much, or you don't have to worry about all the firewalls and security, because as far as the credit card data is concerned, it's not sitting in your servers anymore. And also, it helps you reduce the PCI burden. So overall, it's a very, very useful process. To what we have done as a company, we have introduced our cloud-based payment engine called PayFabric. This is basically what takes the concept of tokenization and inject it with steroids and makes it huge. So basically, PayFabric is a tokenization on steroids. Think of it that way. What PayFabric does is it's a cloud-based payment engine which allows you to process payments in a cloud as well as store the credit card information in a cloud. So we introduced this payment engine called PayFabric, and then what we did is we embedded PayFabric in all of our applications, and now there are a lot of other software companies who are also using PayFabric as their payment engine as well. So to show you how help you visualize how PayFabric works is PayFabric, like I said, it's a cloud. That's where all the credit card data is stored, and PayFabric can connect with numerous payment gateways. So unlike the typical traditional tokenization method where you were restricted to use one payment gateway, now you can choose any payment gateway you want, and even the ones that don't support tokenization, it doesn't matter because you're not tokenizing with payment gateways anymore, so you're not dependent on payment gateways. You can switch payment gateways if you want to, but if you look at the bottom side of the screen, that's where you can see all of our application, starting from the right, whether it's CRM Charge, which I talked about, which is basically the application which allows you to process payments inside of Microsoft Dynamics CRM. It uses PayFabric. Our web store e-commerce solution that we talked about, it uses PayFabric in the back end. Our GP solution, Credit Card Advantage, uses PayFabric. Our online bill pay solution, ePay Advantage, also uses PayFabric. And then the way we have designed a PayFabric is that it can be used anywhere else too. So if you have any custom application and if you need payment processing, you just simply call the PayFabric API and process the payment. Likewise, there are many other companies within Microsoft channel as well, other ISVs who are using PayFabric as their backend payment processing engine. So I'm going to show you the solution that I'm going to show you today. They all are using PayFabric in the backend as a security method, and I will point out security as we go. Now, another note that I want to make, announcement perhaps before I take you to my demo machine, is we have also introduced a new solution called PayLink. PayLink is basically, it utilizes PayFabric in the backend, but PayLink is essentially a secure method of collecting payments from your customers. So let's say if you want to collect payment from your customer, rather than having the customer read the credit card number over the phone to you, you can send them a hyperlink, a link in an email or a text message directly from GP or any other application if you want. And essentially what happens is your customers will get a text message, they can make a single click payment, they can click on that link and then make a one-time payment. So this way they don't have to log into a portal, they don't have to worry about remembering passwords, especially very useful for some of those one-off customers that you have. If you just want to use PayLink just to collect payment from them, you can do that. Another use case, very interesting use case, is that let's say if you're invoicing out of GP, you can actually embed PayLink on your invoice notifications. So we have a system which I'm going to talk about that sends notification to the customer every time there's a new invoice posted to their account. On that notification, PayLink can be embedded, so you can just click on that link and make a payment as well. So very useful tool. So like I said, the way it works is, sorry about that. The way it works is, you basically just enter the amount that you are collecting, hit PayLink, customer gets a text message or an email. Click on that button, enter the credit card information, and the PayLink. The payment gets submitted back into your GP in your accounting system. So very, very useful and very convenient and secure method to collect payments. So now I'm going to show you some of these solutions in action. I'm going to start off with talking about Credit Card Advantage. So like I mentioned, Credit Card Advantage is is an application that sits inside of GP. So when we install it, it becomes part of GP. So it's embedded. Think of it like a chunk file that's in GP. So under transaction, you will see Credit Card Advantage and all of its menu item. If you notice, I also have PayLink installed over here too. So you can actually use PayLink within GP as well. Using Credit Card Advantage, you can process payments from any of the receivables modules of GP, such as sales transaction entry, invoice entry, transaction entry, or even cash receipt. So I will start off with the cash receipt window. A typical use case is that if you're not using Credit Card Advantage today, and if you're using some other method of payment processing, such as you may have a little device on your desk that your bank gave you where you key in the credit card number, or you may go to your bank's website or virtual terminal to process the payment. But after that, you come onto GP, you create a cash receipt, and you apply it to that invoice. Now you can just process the payment directly from your cash receipt window. So I'm going to create a cash receipt as a method of as an example, and I'm going to select credit card as my method of payment. I'm going to hit dollar amount, enter the dollar amount, and then I'm going to hit tab. When I tab off, it will automatically open up this window called e-transaction entry window. This is basically where Credit Card Advantage kicks in. This is Nodus's Credit Card Advantage window. Over here, if you notice, there's a default credit card number that's pre-populated. You can either use this, you can drop down to see what other credit card this particular customer have on file. You can use one of those, or you can type in a new credit card number if you want to. So let's say if it's a brand new customer, a new credit card, you can type it in. And if you decide to process a check, electronic check instead of credit card, you can do that as well. So all you have to do is just select a setup ID. We will make two setup IDs for you, one that says check, one that says credit card. Now, when you select check, the form resets, and now it allows you to enter account number, routing number, and likewise, you can also save check information on file as well. Another important thing that I do want to point out over here is that this credit card, this wallet, once again, is not residing inside of GP. This is sitting in the PayFabric. Sitting in PayFabric Cloud. So if you look at over here, there's a sign that says powered by PayFabric. This entire window is in fact an iframe that's being pulled directly from PayFabric. So when I do this selection is not happening in GP, it's actually happening on PayFabric Cloud. Likewise, if I enter the credit card number here too, this credit card number is going straight from my hand to PayFabric Cloud. It's not touching your GP. So from PCI's perspective, you can consider your GP as very safe because now your GP does not see credit card number at any given point. So when you want to process, all you do is you hit the process button. It will process this payment in real time. It will tell you right away if the payment went through or if it was declined. If it was declined, I would have gotten a decline message and the process would have stopped right here. In this case, I got an approval message. If I hit OK, it will show a confirmation. This confirmation you can display on the screen. You can print it. You can save it in a file. Or you can also set it up in a way that every time a credit card is processed, this confirmation is automatically emailed to the customer in the back end. Let me show you what it looks like. This is what the confirmation looks like. Once again, we support email functionality where every time credit cards or any payment is processed, whether it's credit card or ACH, automatic confirmation can be sent in the back end to the customer. And that's it. As you can see, you don't have to do anything more beyond this point as far as the credit card payment is concerned. As you can see, you were able to securely process credit card in a couple of clicks only, and you did that without leaving your GP or without going to any external system. From here, you can continue your regular accounting process. You can save it in a batch, apply it to an invoice, post it, But as far as the credit card payment is concerned, you don't have to do anything more beyond this point. So that was an example how to process a payment inside of GP from a cash receipt window. Now I'm going to show you how to process a payment inside of GP using sales transaction entry window, which is also known as SOP. Most companies create SOP orders. You can create an invoice. You can also process a credit transaction on a return document. Just for the sake of example, I'm just going to create an invoice very quickly to process you a payment, to show you how a payment is processed. And so let's say if I have an invoice over here, and if I want to process a payment, all I have to do is go to additional. I can go to this option that says sale or credit transaction. It will open up the exact same e-transaction entry window that you saw earlier. Once again, my default credit card or the primary credit card number is pre-populated for my convenience. I can use this. I can type in a new credit card number. I can select another from the wallet. Everything same. I just go ahead and hit process. It will do two things. First, it will process the payment for me in real time. Once again, if this was declined, I would have gotten a decline message. And secondly, it will apply this payment to this invoice as well. So the first step shows you that the payment went through. This confirmation also can be emailed in the backend. Let me just show you one more time because it's slightly different than the cash receipt window. Since it's coming from SOP, it does have a line item on it as well. So like I said, the first step showed you that the payment went through, and this shows you that the payment has automatically been applied. So as you can see, you don't have to key in the amount that needs to process. Everything is done. All you have to do is just hit OK. And as simple as that, you can process payment from there. We also support other type of transactions such as pre-authorizations, delayed captures. So let's say if you take an order and instead of charging the credit card, you want to pre-authorize a credit card, you can do that as well. And then once that order has been fulfilled, transferred to an invoice, then you can capture that on a payment. You can capture the payment as well. So I'm going to very quickly show you an example of that as well. So let's say I'm taking an order and I want to, instead of actually processing payment right now, I'm going to pretend that this order needs fulfillment. So I'm just going to go ahead and book a transaction, which means pre-authorize. So I go to additional, click on book transaction. It will open up this window. Same thing, I'm just going to go ahead and hit process. It says that it went through. Essentially what happened right now is it actually just pre-authorized this transaction for me. So now this pre-authorized transaction will stick to this document. I can't close it. It will basically stick to this order as long as this pre-authorization is valid. So let's say a few days later, you come back in and you said that, hey, this order has been fulfilled. So what you do is you transfer this order to an invoice. This is a typical GP process, or accounting process for that matter. So I'm going to transfer this to an invoice. And now, when it's already been invoiced, now I can actually capture this payment. So that capturing of the payment is called ship. So I can go ahead and ship the payment. If I click on this button, now it will process the funds for me and it will apply that to that invoice. So this window shows that the authorization was captured, and this window shows that it was applied to this invoice. So once again, Credit Card Advantage itself has many, many other features, which unfortunately, in the short webinar video, I cannot cover everything. I just want to show you one more window real quick, which is from the pay link. So let's say if this belonged to a customer that you did not have a credit card on file and you want to accept a payment from this customer, you can actually send a quick pay link directly from this window as well. So if I go to additional and if I click on send payment link, what this will do is will open up this window where I can allow the customers to, I can enter the customer's email address, what email address they have. If they have an email address on file, it will be pre-populated. But if not, I can type in an email address, and I can also type in their SMS, which is their cell phone number for a text message. I can take a sale, or I can even, right now it's disabled, but I can even do pre-authorization. But essentially what happens with this is the customer will receive an email and a text message, or either or if you want to do one. And then customer will be able to click on the link to make one-time payment, and the payment will be submitted into GP immediately. So now I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to talk about our online bill pay system called ePay Advantage. Think of this as the sort of like how you were processing credit cards inside of GP. Now you're allowing or enabling or perhaps empowering your customers to process payments or to take charge of their payments on their own. Once again, this is a very similar concept to how you pay your cell phone bills or how you pay your utility bills. You're basically allowing your customers to manage their accounts on their own and pay their bills on their own as well. So I'm going to first log in as a customer. Now, one quick note on this before I start. This is an on-premise type of solution, so we either install this on your servers, or if you want to host it in an external environment, you can do that as well. But the idea is that we do give you access to the site files and the CSS and the HTML code behind it, so you can change the look and feel however you want to. So please ignore the look and feel. You can have your own logos, your own wordings, your pictures, and then basically, you can rebrand this according to your company theme. Most companies like to link this with their existing website, and they can do like a single sign-on kind of thing. So if somebody's already logged into your website, they don't have to log in here again. But a lot of companies link this with their websites and kind of carry on the theme so it looks part of your own website. So I'll explain you how it works, and I'll show it to you. So whenever you have an invoice in GP, the moment you put an invoice in GP, ePay brings that invoice up to its portal, and at the same time, ePay sends an email notification to the customer, letting them know that there's an invoice. Customers can log in, they can view that invoice, they can download it, they can print it, and then they can make a payment. They can pay by checks or credit cards. The payment gets processed electronically, and upon successful process, payment gets submitted back into GP. It basically creates a cash receipt, and it applies it to that corresponding invoice. So let's look at that. So I'm going to actually log in as a customer right now. As a customer, when I log in, it takes me to a page where I can see a list of my outstanding invoices. I can click on any of this invoice to see the invoice details. So I can see all the invoice details. I can download this invoice. I can print a PDF of this invoice if I want to. This shows me my list of my outstanding invoices. This column shows me invoice number, invoice date, due date, amount, balance that's due. I can select multiple invoices to pay at the same time if I want to with one transaction. Or if you want to allow your customers to make partial payments, they can do that too. So for example, I can pay $100 on this invoice. I can pay $50 on this invoice. So like I said, if you want to allow your customers to make partial payments, they can. You can allow your customers to see their outstanding invoices. They can also see their invoice history, like all the old invoices that they have. You can take them as far back in history as you want. Payment history, they can see all the payments that were processed. These are not only the payments that were processed through the web portal, but these are also the payments that were processed through GP. So if you do process a payment through credit card advantage inside of GP, those payments will be reflected over here as well. And also, customer can see their wallet. This is the same wallet that you saw in GP. Because this wallet is not sitting in GP or in ePay, it's actually being pulled directly from the PayFabric cloud. And being in a cloud, it can be accessed from anywhere. So from anywhere means any of these applications. So it can be accessed from GP, same wallet can be accessed from the web portal, which means if a customer decides to save a credit card on file over here, it will be available for you in GP as well. Likewise, they can also hover over here to see the total balance. We also allow them to see credit if they have any credit on file. In fact, they can also take that credit and they can apply that credit towards one of their outstanding invoices. We also allow prepayment. Prepayment is basically essentially a payment that is deposited or some payment that's not associated with this. So from an accounting perspective, they create an unapplied cash receipt. So you can do that as well as you can also have your customers who write notes these payments, these also will submit to payment. So for this example, what I'm going to do is I will go ahead and I'm going to make partial. I'm going to pay $10 over here, and I'm going to pay, let's say, $100 over here. Altogether, I'm paying 2 invoices, $110. Next, it takes me to my review and payment page where I can see one more time what am I paying. I can see my total is $113.90. Now, there's another feature that we have added. It's called service fee. This is a surcharge. You don't have to utilize this if you don't want to. You can enable, disable a lot of these features. Service fee is basically a surcharge that you can charge your customers for payments. You don't have to call it service fee. You can call it anything you want. I'm calling it a service fee, and I put a note here that says a service fee of $3.19 will be applied to this payment. This also can be a flat fee. It could be a percentage base. Like I said, you can call it a convenience fee, portal fee, whatever you want. You can have it where the service fee only applies to credit cards. So if I select to pay by check, the service fee disappears. Or you can make it for both, or you can make it only for check as well. But please be careful. In certain states, it is becoming illegal to use service fee on credit cards only. So you might want to double check with your local authorities. But the idea is that you do have an option to have a surcharge on your payments if you like. For credit card, there's other additional security features that we offer, like address verification, zip code, or even CVV2 code. So if you want your customers to enter those 3 digits, the CVV2 codes from behind the credit card, they can, you can make that mandatory as well. You can allow your customers to pay now or pay later. If they select pay later, this information will be saved and it will automatically be processed on that date. Or you can just allow them to pay now. And then you can also make it mandatory that they must agree to your terms and conditions before checkout. You can put your own legal verbiage over here if you like. One other note, since we're on the screen, as far as the security is concerned, so like I mentioned, that these credit card data is not sitting on your portal. It's not sitting on ePay. It's on PayFabric Cloud. In fact, if I add a new credit card, when I click add a new credit card, this just opened up right now. This is an iframe that's being pulled directly from PayFabric as well. So which means that even at the initial point of entry, when the customer is entering the credit card number for the first time, it's going straight from the customer's hand to PayFabric. The credit card number is not getting exposed to your environment. I want to go ahead and just continue with this payment. I'm going to pay with my credit card. It's a real-time processing, so if the credit card is declined, the process will stop right here and I will get a decline message. So this way you don't have to deal with any declines. Your customer will know right away that it's declined, and then they can enter a new payment information. If the credit card goes through, they will see this confirmation that you see on the screen. This shows that the payment went through, so I got an approval message. And at the same time, a copy of this confirmation has already been emailed to the customer for their record. Along with that, this payment has already been submitted to GP and has already been applied to these invoices for these amounts. So just to show you what this looks like, I'm going to go ahead and copy this payment number. I'm going to go to GP, go to cash receipts, and I'm going to paste that number that I copied from the confirmation. See, the payment came in immediately. And not only that it came in immediately, it's been applied to the right invoices for the right amount. So this way, you don't have to do any double entry. You don't have to do any manual keying in. You don't have to figure out which payment goes to which invoice. Everything is automatically mapped out for you. All the payments throughout the day, they get saved in a batch. It's a daily batch that gets generated. And then, so next day, you can just review this batch and post it however you like. But from the payment perspective, all these payments are submitted into GP in real time. Now, ePay itself has lots of other features. Like your customers can sign up for auto pay as well. So it's like basically, you know how for your cell phone bill, you can keep a credit card on file and they say that automatically whatever your bill is and have it paid off on your credit card. Similarly, your customers can do the same thing using ePay. Another very useful part of ePay, I'm going to log out for a second over here, is we do support parent-child relationship too. So if you have customers who have a parent-child relationship, those relationships from GP are also transferred over to the portal. So if I log in as a parent, I can see not only my account, but I can see all my children's account as well. So this is my account, these are my children accounts. And then I can also make payments on behalf of my children. And even a single transaction, I can pay one of my invoice, I can pay one of this guy's invoice, and then I can make a payment through one transaction. One other very useful feature of ePay is that it has a customer service portal as well. Customer service is somebody from your team. It could be your accounting team members, it could be your sales reps, it could be your customer service reps, whoever you want. But as a CSR, you can log in, you can view and manage customers' accounts. You can basically, let's say if I'm on the phone with a customer and somebody wants to make a payment, I can simply just go ahead and I can select, find that customer. These are all the customers that are in GP. Even the ones who may not be enrolled to use ePay, doesn't matter. Anyone who's in GP is listed here. I can select like anyone's account. So let's say if I select Adam Park, I can see all the accounts, all the invoices that are open under this customer's account. And let's say if somebody wants to make a payment, I can go ahead and even process the payment on behalf of a customer. In a similar manner how a customer makes a payment, a customer service reps can process a payment on behalf of customer. Likewise, customer can also sign up, your CSRs can also sign up customers for auto pay. We do also have options like installment payment, like if somebody wants to break this down into smaller payments, installment contracts, you can do that as well. Likewise, we do also have recurring billing solution that basically allows you to create recurring billing subscription contracts for your customers as well. So this way, if you want to tie a customer into a subscription billing where you want invoice to be generated automatically at a specific recurring basis, that can happen as well. Please note that speaking of the design, this is also like responsive, where every time, sorry about that, where if a customer is accessing this through cell phone, it will automatically adjust according to the cell phone size or the screen. So as you can see, if I turn this, shrink the screen, now this has turned into like a different menu where it's more touch friendly, and I can basically look at the invoice details like this and make a payment. So this also follows all the responsive web design themes. Lastly, what I'm going to show you very quickly is our e-commerce solution. Our e-commerce solution also is set with the responsive design. This also, if I have this on a cell phone, it automatically adjusts to the different design and according to the more touch-friendly manner. This, once again, you can completely change the look and feel however you want to of the web store. The web store itself has a lot of features that, of course, in a short video, it's not possible for me to cover everything. But we can show you examples of some of our existing customers to see how some other people have changed the design of the web store. But basically, you can have your categories listed up here. You can also define your categories here. You can display your items however you want to. In fact, we also support things like if you have something in multiple colors, you can actually hover over it to see the difference. And if you click on any specific product, it actually shows you product description page. If there are multiple images, it can show you multiple images too. This is a long description of the product. We also support like what we call like choices, where if this comes into different colors or different sizes, you can do that as well. And like I said, that for the colors, I can actually hover over it, so basically it shows like different color sizes. I have available quantity displayed here. You don't have to display it, but it's basically showing that the quantity is being read directly from GP. Plus, We also support things like reviews and rating. So if you want your customers to write reviews, they can write reviews, rate your product. There also is a feature where you can upsell and cross-sell products too. So for example, if I go to fashion, and if I go to, like, let's say men's fashion, for example, and casual wear, and if I go to this item, so you can actually see that it says that, hey, if you like this, you may also like this, this, and this shirts as well. So it's kind of, it's very flexible, very robust, however you want to design, however you want to lay out your products. You can put them in a grid format, you can put them in a list format. You can also do like what we call like a detailed list. So let me show you how a checkout works. So let's say if this is a item, I can add this to my cart. This is my shopping cart page. Over here, I can even apply a discount. I can put a promo code for discount to be applied. I can check out. I can continue shopping. I can save my shopping cart if I want. I want to check out using conventional method. These are some of the options. If you have an existing customer, you can log in using your login credentials. If you're a new customer, you can create an account, or you can check out as a guest if you like. Basically, if you want to allow this option. If you do like a new user creation, it will, upon successful order processing, it will also create an account for this customer in GP. I'm going to log in as an existing customer right now. So all your address book, all that information is synchronized from GP. So you can see what address you have on file. I can add a new address if I want to. I can select my shipping address as well as my billing address. It takes me to my shipment and payment page where we integrate with UPS, USPS, and FedEx. So if you have a relationship with either one of them, you can enter that, so it will help you calculate real-time shipping. We also integrate with third-party tax calculators as well, such as Avalara, and if you integrate with them, we do have a built-in connector for that to help you calculate sales tax. We can also, if there was multiple items in the shopping cart, you can also do like ship to multiple addresses if you want certain items to go on certain addresses. We do support gift certificates. Gift certificate is something that is born in the store, sold at the store, and also redeemed in the store as well. Of course, then I talked about promo code. For payment methods, there are many different payment methods that you can enable, disable according to your requirements, or even according to customers as well. Likewise, this is also using Pay. That's on the Bill Pay portal as well as that's over here in GP and here because it's coming from PayFabric. So I'm going to select this credit card as my method of payment. I'm going to hit Continue. My checkout page, I can see one more time what am I placing. I can leave any, what order am I placing. I can leave any special instructions if I want. And if everything looks good, I can even make it mandatory that they must agree to my terms and conditions before checkout. And if everything looks good, I can go ahead and place this order. This order will get processed in real time, and if it's declined, if the credit card is declined, the process will stop right here. The order will not be submitted to GP at that point. The customer will be prompted to enter a new credit card number. If the credit card goes through, this message will come. This is a confirmation that shows that the payment went through. A copy of this confirmation has already been sent in an email to the customer, and this order has been submitted to GP and already. So I'm going to copy this order number just to show you what it looks like inside of GP. Transaction sales. So it basically created a sales order processing document for you. So as you can see, the order came in immediately along with the authorized payment as well. Now, once again, like I said, that itself, the web store is humongous. It has tremendous amount of features that the system supports. Like, you know, you can, but obviously in a short amount of time I can't go over through all of them. But if you want to view any of your past orders, you can do that. If you want to, even this can be linked with your online bill pay, the ePay advantage that I showed you. So if you want to allow your customers to go ahead and pay their items, they can do that as well. So having said that, I want to thank you for joining. I hope you found this webinar or this recording useful. My contact information here, you can contact me or you can contact your representative at the TM group. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Like I said, that I just showed you a brief overview of the solution. I'll be happy to do it. Once again, this is Fawaz, and thank you for joining.